Rick and Morty is the next show that we are going to cover here. Obviously, we're only doing the first season, obviously, because doing all of them the way that I'm going to do them, it might take a little bit. And yeah, I don't think anybody's got that kind of time yet. And it'll give us a reason to do more shows, so we're not just focusing on the one main show. So, tackling the first one, this is a show from 2013. Now, I was not a Rick and Morty fan to begin with. I did not watch it to begin with. I had no idea anything about it. I basically was, with a lot of shows that I actually ended up liking, a lot of them were me just coming into them later on. So, I didn't jump right on the bandwagon when I was told. I'd say it was probably season 3 is when I finally started watching the show. I just got tired of people telling me about it, and I was like, look, I'll take a look at it, I'll check it out, see if it's any good, and yeah, I ended up enjoying it. 5 seasons into it now, and I'm still enjoying it. Not sure about the later seasons, it might be hitting its speed bump there, but you never know. It might get better. I haven't seen the new season yet. I'm waiting till it comes out and then just going to watch it on its own. So, tackling the first episode. Not a lot goes on. It sets up a few things here. Basically, you just find out that Rick has been gone for most of Beth's life, and he finally comes back into her life. Morty ends up being his assistant through all of his journeys, which basically he just becomes the Marty of Rick's Doc Brown, basically. But yeah, basically this episode is just showing how bad of an influence Rick is on Morty, and basically the first adventure that they go on. It's not a huge detailed one or anything like that. You get, the small little details of who Morty likes. You get the Smith family. I don't know why I was saying. I think I was because of looking at Summer, and I wasn't sure what the hell I was trying to say. But you get introduced to all the characters. Other than Summer, she kind of doesn't get much in this episode at all. She gets a couple of scenes, and that's about it. Mainly, it's just about Rick and Morty on their adventure. But for a pilot episode, I do enjoy this episode very much. Now, there are no ratings on Tomato like there is for Arrow, which I thought was weird. Maybe in the later seasons, maybe, but so far, the first couple episodes that I have watched to review, there hasn't been anything on the Tomato score on what they are, so I have no idea. We don't get to go and figure out what the Tomato or the critics thought about it, but for me, I am going to give this episode an A+. It is a great episode. I did enjoy it all the way through. Obviously, like I said, the pros was the intro to the main cast. You basically get everybody. Other than Summer, you basically kind of figure out, you find out that Jerry's kind of a pushover. Beth is a doctor who loves her dad, who will do anything for her dad. You find out Rick is obviously a jerk. Morty doesn't want to do stuff, but he also wants to be part of his grandpa's, life and everything. So you kind of get an idea of who these characters are and how they'll be building into what they end up becoming. Obviously, their character arcs will definitely change for sure, but yeah, I do love the intro to this show. I couldn't figure out the right words. Intro to the cast. I don't know why I couldn't think of the words. Also, I loved the design of the background creatures and the worlds. I know they didn't go to many worlds, but just looking at the first world they go to find the seeds, then when they have to go through customs, just the settings there, I did enjoy very much. Also, the creatures and the characters in the background, they all look great. They all have their own little difference and everything. None of them you can say look alike. Obviously some creatures look the same, which makes sense because they're the same species, but there are so many different ones. Like, I know there are videos where people are picking through the Easter eggs, like there's xenomorphs, like there's just a bunch of background characters that they put in there, and it is just crazy how much detail they put into it. Like, if I sat there and looked at it, I'm sure I could find multiple characters, like, oh, I know who that is, oh, I know who that is. Like, it's just nuts the amount of stuff they have going back there with all the creatures and everything like that. The one con I had, which isn't even much of a con, to be honest, it's actually not a huge con at all, but it did annoy me, was I'm not a fan of Morty's scream yell that he does. I know it's something he does a lot, but for some reason in this episode, it really made me not enjoy it at all. Like, I definitely could say I am not a huge fan of it at all. Like, it just really annoyed me. Just, I don't know why. It was just annoying to me, and I couldn't deal with it. But obviously, that's not the hugest con in the world. That wasn't the worst thing in the world if that happened. But it was something that I did not enjoy, and it did bother me a little bit. But other than that, I would definitely say that this is a great way to start the show. You know, it's simple. You get an intro to everybody you're meeting. Like, they don't go too crazy into it right away, you know. They obviously build up to it with every episode, but for a first episode, for a pilot, I loved it. It is still great going back and watching it. And yeah, definite A+. Now, will the next episode be just as great, or are we going to have a drop-off? So I'm hoping it keeps its streak going, hoping that it stays great. But we will find out in the next video if it can keep its status as A material here. So in the next video, I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Take care. Mwah. I love ya.